Quite frankly, there's a lot of marriage and relationship advice on the internet. But I feel like the ones I'm about to tell you are really, really important and you should know them if you're planning on getting married anytime soon or whenever you decide to get married. What's up, you guys? This is your wing lady and I'm back today with another beautiful video. Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Wing lady is doing good. So today, it's not a perfume video today. Nope, it's not a perfume video. It's a list of things for you as a lady or even as a man to know if you're planning on getting married either soon or later. First thing is that you should not marry potential. You should marry reality. You know, when we meet people, we see them better than they currently are. You look at someone and you think like, oh my God, he's got so much potential. Or you look at her and you're like, oh my God, she has so much potential. If only she can come into this potential. And then you're imagining and thinking and planning on how to help them reach that potential. Recognize it as what it is, potential. It is just potential. It is not reality. And not everyone is going to reach their highest potential. Either you help them out or you decide not to help them out. Not everybody will reach that potential that you are imagining for them. So do not marry someone simply because you think they can be better. Meet them at where they are right now. Meet their reality. Where they are right now, is it sufficient for you? Don't try to imagine what they can be and pat them up in your head. That's not your job. Take them at surface level, at face level, at what they are right now, what they are offering right now. Is that okay with you? Can you deal with this? If you're good, then go ahead and get married. But if you're not and you are hanging on to some hope of improvement, thinking by the time they get married, then they are going to improve, they are going to come into their potential, they are going to, you might end up disappointed. Because by the time you get married, marriage gives you comfort. It allows you to relax, especially if you marry right. It allows you to relax. So you are not pursuing. No, you are being yourself. You are relaxing in yourself. So those potential that you have, you can decide to pursue them or not. And so if your partner decides not to pursue that potential, I hope you are not going to be disappointed in them. Marry reality, not potential. The second thing is the fact that the person you're marrying is not perfect. He's not perfect. Because you are not perfect too. None of you are perfect. No human being is perfect. God is the only perfect being. None of you are perfect. So do not expect perfection. If you have an idea of how your spouse is supposed to be or your fiance, whoever you think you're going to marry, and you have certain standards for them, and you know that you cannot go below these standards, then don't marry them. Because you cannot marry someone and then expect them to be perfect as you have imagined it in your own head. Now, you can marry someone that will be perfect for you, but you cannot marry a perfect human being. They cannot be good at everything. People have flaws. Some people lie a lot. Some people cheat a lot. Some people gossip a lot. Some people steal a lot. It depends on the kind of vices that you are comfortable with. The ones that you know, oh, I could tolerate this. Yeah, I'll be fine if they lie and steal and cheat. I don't mind. If you don't mind, go ahead and marry them. But if you do mind, don't even bother trying to marry them, okay? People are not perfect. We all have flaws. And part of what marriage is accepting each other the way we are. So if you see someone and you realize that their flaws are not things that you can handle, you cannot handle someone lying to you. You cannot handle someone cheating on you. You cannot handle someone being violent towards you. You cannot handle someone keeping malice to you. You cannot marry someone that is stingy. These are flaws. The person is not perfect. If you know the flaws are things that you will be able to tolerate, no problem. But if you cannot tolerate them, nip it in the bud. Don't bother marrying them. Because you are not perfect either. You have your flaws. We have so many wounds, so many trauma that we bring into marriage. Sometimes we talk about it, sometimes we don't. Okay, so don't expect perfection from any potential partner. Nobody is perfect out there. There is no perfect person, not even you. The third thing is that you should pick a partner who is kind and generous over everything else. Kindness and generosity over everything else. Okay, I want a rich man. I want a handsome man. I want a lovely man. I want a successful man. I want a this, I want a that. You are allowed to to have the qualities that will attract you to your potential spouse. Okay, you are allowed to want a rich man, you are allowed to want a successful man, you are allowed to want a handsome man, you are allowed to want a man that will love you to pieces. All of these things are actually important things that you should consider. But kindness and generosity are attributes that you can never, ever, ever look over. If your man is rich, like stupendously rich, he's obviously a rich man. Is he generous? Just because he's rich, does that mean he will give you part of his money? You know, you can be rich and stingy. When you have so much money tucked away in the bank or in your savings account, but you can't share with anybody. You really cannot give it to anybody. You cannot stand anybody having their hands on your money. And sometimes you might have all these other good attributes, but you might be wicked inside in your heart. Ladies, trust me, you do not want to marry a wicked man. I don't think anyone will survive a marriage with a wicked person. Although there are some women in toxic marriages, I don't know how they're doing. But kindness and generosity over everything else. Because there will be hard days in marriage. There will be postpartum days in marriage. There will be days when the kids will drive you crazy. You need a partner or a man or a woman that is kind, considerate, generous towards you, towards your feelings. A person that will put you first and consider you in every situation. It's not all money and it's not all beauty. Everything that we see is not exactly how it is. There are deeper things in marriage that you will not understand until you actually get married. For those difficult times, you need a partner that is kind to you and that is generous with you. Kindness and generosity are top tier. Whatever you are searching for in a spouse, make sure they are kind and generous and not wicked. Because if you get married to a wicked spouse, they will frustrate you. Don't ever forget that kindness and generosity should be at the top of your list when you are looking for a potential partner. The fourth thing is that it takes two to actually make a relationship or a marriage work. The moment when it becomes only one person working on that marriage, the marriage is over. Because a marriage is a union between two individuals. It's not a union between one individual. We could be marrying ourselves. Now, I just decide I want to just marry myself. Wing lady gets married to wing lady. Then our relationship will be perfect, right? But no, you have to get married to someone else. That someone else, you barely know them. Even if you have dated them for a long period of time, you only know the real them when you get married to them. When you're in that marriage with them, when you're in the same house with them, when you live with them for years. Personally, I've been married 4 years. And let me tell you, it takes two. It takes the both of us to actually continue the marriage. The moment one person says, I'm done, then the marriage is done. The marriage is done. So when you are picking, make sure that you are picking someone that you know will actually be there for you through the highs, through the lows, through the ups, through the downs. It takes two to tango. Yeah, one person cannot make a relationship work. When you have this at the back of your mind, you'll be able to better observe how your relationship is going. You'll be able to see whether your partner has given up on you and you are the only person left in that marriage, or if you are the one actually giving up on that marriage. The whole institution of marriage is based on both the husband and the wife trying together every day, making it work, being considerate of each other, taking care of each other, loving each other, respecting each other. The moment one person steps out, the marriage is over. So observe as your marriage progresses, or before you get married, or whatever stage you are in. Observe the tempo of you and your partner. The next point is the fact that love is not enough. Love is not enough to sustain a marriage. Love is never enough. It has never been enough. It will never be enough. There are other things to consider. There's respect. You know, they say husbands should love their wives and wives should respect their husbands. Not to say wives shouldn't love their husbands. You should love your husbands too. And not to say husbands shouldn't respect their wives. You should respect your wives too. But the major thing is the fact that the husband must really love the wife, and the wife must really respect the husband. Now, it is never enough. There are other things that will come up during the course of this marriage that will require strength and resilience. Marriage brings out the strength of your character. It shows you exactly who you are. When things happen, the way you react is exactly who you are. Love is not enough. It is never enough. If you think love is the only thing I need to maintain this marriage, you're wrong. You're wrong. There's money. In fact, money is a major reason why most couples actually fight and break up. And don't even get me started on when the children comes, how you're gonna be taking care of the children, how you're gonna be disciplining the children, is it beans? Is it easy? Love is never enough. Just because you feel an overwhelming, intense amount of love and attraction for this person you're about to marry doesn't mean that is all that is needed and required to sustain that union. Love is not enough. There are other things that you need to work on. That is why people that are not healed internally, mentally, psychologically, physically, everything should not get married. You know why? Because you bring your baggage, your trauma, your problems, your trouble, you bring it and dump it inside the marriage. And if you're not careful, it might be the end of that marriage. So you have to do the inner work yourself and make sure that you are healthy, you are healed, you are in a place where you can actually invite someone else to share your life with you before you go and get married. If you are relying on love alone as the backbone for your marriage, it's not enough. It's not enough. You need to put God there. Yes, absolutely, God. You need to put money as a factor. It's a strong and powerful deciding factor. You need to consider your children. You need to consider family and friends. A lot of factors. Don't just look at the fact that you're in love with this person. Look at everything that they bring and everything surrounding them, and then you open your eyes and see whether you truly want to get married to them or not. The next point is the fact that individuality is important. Individuality is so important. It is overlooked. You know, a lot of people think once you get married, you become the person you get married. I am you, you are me. It is true. Yes, you mesh together. You are one now. You are like garments for each other, covering each other, protecting each other, loving each other. Yes, but individuality is important too. You are a person before getting married, right? It was you that they saw and fell in love with and decided that, okay, this is my partner. This is the love of my life. This is my soulmate. You need to still retain that you. You don't go into marriage and then lose yourself, because by the time you lose yourself, you are losing the essence of that person present inside the marriage. If you are A and he is B, and you go into the marriage being A and B, and by the time you spend a few years together, you are no longer A, you are now AB. It's no longer A and B that got married. It's now AB and B. Do you understand? Don't change yourself so much just because you want to conform and make the marriage work. Do you think it's easy to keep pretending to be what you are not? For how long are you going to do that? If you do it for years and years, eventually your true self will come out. Your true self is like smoke. No matter how hard you try to cover smoke or keep it, it will still find its way to escape. There's no need to change yourself just to sustain a marriage or to attract a partner or to convince someone to marry you. Because how long are you going to keep that personality up? How long are you going to keep that fake persona up? Individuality is important. Whatever things you used to do or enjoy before you got married, still do those things. Still enjoy them. If you used to go out with your friends, go out with your friends. Don't just dump your friends because I'm a married woman now. I'm a married man now. I don't need anybody. Really? You need a tribe. You need a village. They might not come with you to the marriage, but they are serving as support for you. They make you who you are. Keep doing all your hobbies. Keep enjoying the things you enjoy. Still detest the things that you detest. The ones that you don't like, don't start liking them just because you got married. If you didn't drink, you didn't smoke before, but your husband or your wife drinks and smoke, now you decide, oh yeah, I have to drink and smoke too. It doesn't make sense. Individuality is important. When you lose yourself in a marriage, it causes resentment. So hold on to your true self. No matter how hard things get, make sure that you are true to yourself, because your true self is who they married. You don't need to conform and mesh and change. You can evolve and mature, but don't change who you are just to get married. The last thing is the fact that what you ignore during your courtship, what you ignore before getting married, is exactly what's going to break up the marriage. So if you think there's something that I'm seeing right now, but I'm closing my eyes to it because love is blind, I don't want to see it. That thing that you're closing your eyes to, it's going to break the marriage. Your eyes will open. Bah! By the time you enter into the marriage, your eyes that were closed before because of love, marriage will open them for you like bah! Very sharp. You will see clearly now that you are in the marriage. So don't overlook things. When you see the red flags, recognize them as red flags and decide whether you can live with said red flags or you have to run. If you're ignoring things in the courtship stage, if you're ignoring things before getting married, know that those things that you are ignoring will probably be the reason why the marriage breaks up, because they will bother you so much. Eventually you wonder why you were ignoring those things in the beginning. If there are things that you know you cannot tolerate, if there are red flags, if there are tendencies, if there are behaviors, okay, if there are flaws that you see and you recognize them, and you know you might not be able to tolerate much of this, don't even get married. Because you see, those things that you have ignored in the beginning are going to multiply when it gets to marriage. If someone is lazy and you absolutely hate laziness and then you end up getting married, do you think because you married them, suddenly they're going to stop being lazy and they're just going to be so hardworking because you ended up marrying them? No. The laziness is going to increase times 2, times 10, times 15. So whatever you know that you cannot tolerate, about times 10 of it during courtship stage, don't even bother getting married to that person. They are not your person. Your own person will tick all of your boxes, check all of your boxes, and then when you get married to them, it's going to be like a dream. It's going to be better than you had imagined, because that is your own person. And that's when prayer comes in, because you cannot do this marriage thing on your own. You cannot pick people. People can pretend. You cannot just pick blindly. That's why you ask God to help you. So that all those things that you can't even see, because the person is not showing themselves to you 100%, by the time you marry them and they decide to show yourself to you 100%, are not going to be deal breakers. Okay, so please, whatever it is that you keep ignoring and closing your eyes to during courtship period, when you get married, your eyes are going to open and it will break up the marriage. I'm not saying it will, but it may break up the marriage. Don't ignore things just because you want to marry someone so bad, so good. There are so many human beings in this world, okay? Millions, billions of people. You will find your own. There's no need to conform and break yourself into two because you want to fit. It's like a round peg, square hole kind of thing. You cannot force yourself to be square when you are round. Do you get me? Are you feeling me? You feeling me? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watch until the end, please like the video, give it a huge thumbs up, like it, then subscribe to my channel for more of me. And until next time, you guys, I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ciao.